A fluid interpretation, a Dvar Torah for Parashat Chukat. Parashat Chukat deals with the laws of impurity caused by death and the purification process from them, right? Or, as I've claimed before, the purification process from impurity caused by death and then the impurity that caused it, right? Yes, but... well, although as a single unit the verses known today as Parashat Parah comprise the lengthiest section of the weekly parasha and take up about a quarter of it, it's not the only topic there. There is still room for several stories that lead to the entry into the land of Israel. At first glance, the common denominator of the stories leading up to the entry of the land of Israel is that they are the stories leading up to the entry into the land of Israel. If so, we have two literary units, the first, Parashat Parah, and the second, stories leading up into the entry into the land of Israel. This view amuses me, not because it's incorrect, but because it's naive to think I wouldn't make a mess of something so clear and orderly. What's left for me to do now is lay out the stories of the parasha before you, present you with another common denominator, and leave you with no understanding as to why I started this mess other than it seemed like a good idea at the time. Let's begin. After the purification verses that open our parasha, Bnei Israel arrive at Kadesh, where Miriam dies. The people have no water to drink and complain to Moshe and Aaron. The famous results are that Moshe strikes the rock twice, abundant water comes out, the people drink and water their animals, and Moshe and Aaron learn that they won't enter the land. In the following story, Moshe sends messengers from Kadesh to the Edomite king and requests to pass through his land. He commits to touching no food or water without paying for them, and the Edomites refuse, and Israel retreats before war breaks out. The Israelites continue from Kadesh to Horahar. Aharon passes away there and won't enter the land because you rebelled against my word at the waters of Merivat Kadesh. And Elazar replaces his father. The people mourn Aaron's death for 30 days. A short connecting passage in the form of the war with the Canaanite king of Arad. I'll explain soon why my twisted opinion believes this is to be only a connecting passage. And the people complain on the Edom bypass road that there's no bread and no water. Sounds familiar? Hashem sends fiery serpents among the people, and Moshe sorts things out with a copper snake on a pole. Then comes a list of journeys that the Israelites go through. The unusual journeys, meaning the ones the Torah bothers to mention something about, are the Arnon streams, the watershed extending to the seat of Ar, and Be'erah, where Moshe gathers the people to give them water. The song written there also seems to tickle the memory. The story ends, of course, with messengers to Sichon who also promise that we will not turn aside into fields or vineyards, and we will not drink water from wells, and the war that follows, in which among the conquered places we can also find Arnon and Ar that start in the journey and the song of the well. At the end of the story of the conquest of Sichon's land, the Masorah doesn't even bother to change paragraphs. Moshe sends spies to Yazer. He then strikes Og and his people before a final encampment for the parasha across the Jericho Jordan. What's the point of all this? Well, apart from the connecting passage of the Canaanites, the common denominator of all these stories seems to be water. Miriam dies, and there's no water, hence the story of the waters of Meribat Kadesh. In passing through Edom, we emphasize the water. Aaron dies because of water. The snakes bite because of a complaint about water. The journeys of the song emphasizes water sources. We repeat the motif of water and water sources with Sichon, and then we strike Og, and finally camp across from a water source. Oh, and don't forget the red heifer doesn't purify. The purification is done by the water in which it's mixed. This is the point where I'm supposed to say something wise and profound, like after so much time in the desert it's clear that what the people lack is water, or there's no water but Torah. I will of course do no such thing because that would be too mainstream, and streams, as you know, are full of, water. In memory of my beloved and heroic student Amichai Shimon ben Ishai and Bat Yaru ben Hashem Yikom Domo, I am Dovi Holtz, one who loves water and Tanakh.